In this video, we are going to discuss and learn about angles and their measurements. This is lesson 6.1 of Algebra 2. Okay. In this lesson, we focus about trigonometry or measurements of triangles. And then trigonometry most commonly used by engineers, navigators, astronomers, and surveyors. So an angle is determined by rotating a ray about its endpoint. The starting position of called the initial side, and then the ending position is called the terminal side. So we have the terminal side and then the initial side. Then way back to Cartesian plane, we have the quadrant number 1, quadrant number 2, quadrant number 3, and quadrant number 4, which measures 0, 90, 180, 270, and we have 360 degrees. Okay, so positive angles. What are positive angles? So it's generated by counterclockwise and negative is clockwise. Let's take a look about the example here. So we have 0 going to negative 90. So this one are negative angles, which is the clockwise rotation. So the angles are often named using the following. We have Greek letters, the alpha, beta, theta, or sometimes we use we have capital letters, which as A, B, C, or any we have alphabets, and we have to make it as capital letters. So coterminal angles, angles that have the same initial and terminal side. So here, if you're going to rotate, rotate the value of we have the angle is still equals. For example, here alpha is from the initial we have side of the angle going to the terminal, and then the second one, the beta, is from here rotate 360 degrees. So therefore still they are equal. So let's try to find what is the coterminal angles of 60 degrees. To determine that one, we are going to add 60 degrees and we are going to add to 60 degrees 360 degrees, which is one rotation. So therefore the coterminal now is 420. So 60 plus 360 is 420, and 60 minus 360 equals to negative 300 degrees. So that's how you get the coterminal angles. Again, you're going to add and subtract 360 degrees to get the coterminal angles, which is the negative and positive coterminal angles. How about 30 degrees? What is the coterminal of 30 degrees? So therefore, you're going to add 60 and you're going to add 360 and you're going to subtract as well. We have 360 degrees. So therefore, we have now 390 degrees and 130 degrees. 230, the same. Add 360, so therefore you will have 590 and negative 130 degrees. Negative 20, 360, therefore you will have now as 340 and negative 380 degrees. Let's say about this one. We have 460. So if we can observe here, if you can see that if you subtract 460 by 360, the answer is 100 degrees. So it's still a positive we have degree. So therefore, what you're going to do is you're going to subtract again, by 360. Therefore, you get now negative 260 degrees. Let's review about complementary angles and supplementary angles. Complementary angles is an angle, when you're going to add, the total is equals to 90 degrees. So therefore, in this example, we are looking for the complementary angle of 40 degrees. So what you're going to do is 90 minus we have 40 degrees here. So therefore the complementary angle is equals to 50 degrees. How about the second one? So we have 120 degrees. Do you think that this value have a complementary angle? The answer is no. Why? Because the complementary angle, the total or the sum of two angles is just only 90 degrees. But here given is 120. So therefore, there is no complementary angle. Next, supplementary angles. Supplementary angles, if you're going to add the two angles, the sum is 180 degrees. So therefore, in example number 1, what we are going to do is 180 minus 40 degrees. So therefore, we have 140 degrees. And then the other side, 120. So therefore, we have 120 plus x equals 180, and then x is equals to 60 degrees. Again, how to get this complementary and supplementary? You're going to add the two angles. If it is 90, complementary. If it is 60 or if it is 180, we have supplementary angles. Okay, what are we have angles between 0 to 90? That is an acute angle. Obtuse is from 90 going to 180. Complementary again, a plus b is equals to 90 degrees. Alpha plus beta is equals to 180 for supplementary angles. Let's try to study about conversion between degrees and radian. From degree into radian, you will have to multiply pi over 180. If you are going to convert 1 radian into a degree, you have to multiply by 180 over pi. And then in every degree, there is equal to 60 minutes. Okay? So how did we get the conversion? So 1 radian is a measure of central angle, which is the theta. So the central angle is here that intercepts an arc, S. Okay, so that is equal in the length to the radius of the circle. So therefore, we can create a formula as C is equals to 2 pi r, which is the 2 pi r is the, okay, one revolution of the angles. So therefore, the 1 revolution is equals to 2 pi, or 2 pi, which is the radian form. Okay. So these are some of the conversions. We have pi, 2 pi radians equals to 360. Pi is equals to, we have 180 degrees. Pi over 2 is equals to 90 degrees. Okay, so let's try to give all the values, okay? All the values of the radians in, we have Cartesian planes, or from 0 going to 360 degrees. So first, we have 0, 90 degrees, 180, and then here we have 3 pi over 2, which is equals to 270, and then 2 pi is equals to 360. Next one, let's go for 45 degrees. So 45 pi over 4. Here we will have now 90 plus 45, so you will get 3 pi over 4. And then this one here, 180 plus 45, which is equals to 225, right? And then this one is equals to 315. So therefore, we have now 7 pi over 4. So let's complete the graph, okay? And then so that you will be familiarized with the conversion of degree and radian. So here, when you see, this one is by 60 degrees. So 180 minus 60, so therefore this one is 120 degrees. 180 plus 60, so therefore this one is 240 degrees. And then this one is 300, we have degrees, right? 300 minus 60. And then the other one, the red one, okay? So, okay, the red one is by, we have 30, okay? So this one are by 30, so therefore we will have 30 degrees. This one is 150. This one is 210, and this one is 330 degrees. So these are the conversions of, we have radians into degrees and then degrees into radian, which is this one is 45. This one is 180 plus 45. So therefore we will have now as 90, 135 degrees. This one is 225. And then this one is 315 degrees, okay? So from first quadrant, that is 0 to pi over 2. Second quadrant, pi to pi over 2 to pi. Third quadrant, we have pi to 3 pi over 2, and then 3 pi over 2 to 2 pi for fourth quadrant. Okay, so which quadrant do you think is these given examples? Pi over 3, so that is first quadrant. 7 pi over 12, that is second quadrant. Negative 2 pi over 3, that is we have in the third quadrant, and 371, which lies on the first quadrant, so therefore that is quadrant number 1. Let's try to find the coterminal, one positive and one negative. So what we're going to do again, to do for coterminal, you're going to add by 360, which is 360 is equals to 2 pi. Therefore, you will have now as pi over 5 minus we have 10 pi over 5. Where did we get 10 pi over 5? So 2 pi, okay, times, because we have the denominator is 5, we will make this one as the same denominator, so you multiply by 5 over 5. Therefore, we get now 10 pi over 5. That is the reason why we get this one, okay? And then the next one will be the positive, so therefore you will have now pi over 5 plus 10 pi over 5, so therefore we get 11 pi over 5, okay? So this one plus 360 plus 360 plus 360 and subtract by 360 to find the two coterminal angles. Okay, let's try some examples of conversion, because we did not give some example for conversions. So therefore 135, so what you're going to do is you're going to convert 135 degrees into radians. So therefore we will get now 135 times pi over 180. So we get 135 over 185, and then after that one you just find at least common we have here, so simplify. So therefore we get 3 pi over 4. Negative 270. Therefore you will have now negative 270 pi times pi over 180. So therefore you will get now negative 3 pi over 2. Convert the radian. How about radian into degrees? So what you're going to do is multiply by 180 divided by pi equals to 810 degrees. Okay. Next, convert to radians to degrees. Therefore, you multiply that one by 180 over pi. So therefore, you will get now 360 degrees over pi. And then after that one, divide that one, which is pi is equals to 3.142. And just plug in your calculator, it will give you 114.59 degrees. Okay, always remember, when you're going to convert, just remember these two conversions, from radian into degrees and then from degrees into radian. So what you're going to do, multiply by pi over 180 to radians, and then multiply 180 over pi going to degrees. So if you have questions and clarifications, don't forget to send an email or ask questions, so that we can answer all your queries about mathematics. Okay, so thank you so much and have a nice day, everyone. God bless.